everyone, and welcome back to the official podcast of your Seattle Kraken. Signals from the Deep. Piper Shaw here with you always, and my lovely co-host,
Joshua,
JT Brown. And we are kicking off this episode right away with a very special guest that we are excited to have on Signals from the Deep, the one and only Ryker Evans.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for doing this. So we like to keep things light, a little light here on Signals from the
Try
Deep.
to.
Which, in an attempt, we try because it's so serious during hockey season all the time. You know, we gotta keep it loose here. But we did want to start a little bit by just talking about kind of your return to being able to play. Obviously, you were injured at the start of camp here, so it's been great to see you back for these first couple games. Just how have you been feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long training camp for me. Getting injured there. It's been good. It's tough, obviously, being injured, and the guys go on the road for a 2-week road trip to start. Since being back, you get to be around all the guys and get back into rhythm.
Speaking on that, like going away, so what is your schedule like then when you're at home and the guys are on the road? What are you doing to get yourself back ready to play? And obviously, you want to get back as quick as possible, but at the same time, you don't want to rush things too.
Yeah, we're just working with Phil, our athletic trainer. He does a great job at doing all the rehab and stuff, and then we're just doing some on ice stuff to get back into shape.
I haven't had too many injuries, but I've had a few, and sometimes it feels like when you are injured, those days can be even longer than when you're actually out playing and you're on the roster and trying to get back. So it can be difficult in some of those days, but. I know you've talked to Piper about this too, about wanting to be stronger, especially when you're talking about the upper body. We know you're such a great skater out on the ice, but did you change anything this summer when it came to your workouts, or what was that like, or what's your process to becoming stronger in that aspect?
Yeah, I think just a bit more upper body workouts. I feel like we do a lot of lower bodies in the summer. Just focus a little bit on the upper body, mostly just for like corner battles and boxing out. We have a pretty condensed schedule this year, so just not getting fatigued as much was the biggest thing.
I'll say that's good you said corner battles, because I was going to ask you if there was a specific moment or a specific game where you kind of realized that, because for myself, I know my first year coming up, I played 5 games with Tampa after coming to college, and kind of the wake-up moment for me was going into a battle with Dustin Byfuglien, who was he's a large human, a great guy as well, know him, but he pushed me with one hand, and I'm pretty sure I flew like 5 feet, and I was like, yeah, I think I need to.
I gotta get in the gym.
I gotta hit the gym a little harder than I did when I was in college, playing against grown men and going through that. So if there was any specific instance or just kind of the accumulation of the entire season.
No, nothing like that. I feel like even if you were to work out, he'd still do that.
Yeah, there wasn't much, but it still was.
He's just a strong dude. No,
100%.
I didn't really have one instance. It was mostly just you just knew the schedule was just going to be a bit more condensed this year, so couldn't really work out as much.
How about when it comes to kind of the impact that you want to have on the ice this year? And, obviously you talk about the preparation, the work you're doing in the summer, but what about kind of the mindset of what kind of player you want to be this season?
Yeah, I think what actually helped a lot was at Worlds there, going there and getting to play with all those top guys and realizing that, there's, another level to your game that you can bring it to. So after going there and realizing just how detailed they are and how they execute and what they bring to their game and their team, I think that's something that I want to do. And I've been trying to implement it this year in the first couple of games, but I think it's just playing smart. And obviously I talked to you about having that attack mindset, so something like that.
Were there any players when you were growing up, or maybe just at Worlds this summer, that you kind of looked up to, or you watched their game and you're like, okay, I'm going to take notes from that, or I want to be like him someday?
Not really there. Obviously, when you grow up, you're watching Crosby and McKinnon and all those guys. But just from their game is just how detailed they are and how they execute all the time, even in practices and obviously in games. What they can do is insane. But also just how they hold each other accountable is pretty awesome.
When you say details, what are those details?
Honestly, just you got stick battles, just how they position themselves to have an advantage over the opposition. I think it's just like really just little things. It's nothing like too crazy, but it's just like the little things.
But it's all those little things that make a difference.
Yeah, I'd say we even get to see it, just watching practice, and whether it's, going out early or more often staying out after and working on things, whether it's with just the D or going through and doing individual skill work. We do see you doing, that sort of stuff ever since day one. So at least from the details perspective, we get to see that side of it. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into being prepared to come from or get ready for a game or be ready when your time's called. But from that aspect, it's fun to see guys still, wanting to put in the work after practice.
So, okay, we talked about this a little bit at the start of the season, but I wanted to revisit this because me and JT were just talking about this, how Brandon Montour told me that you were a biohacker. And he's like, he's like, Ryker's always looking out how to gain an edge with that kind of preparation. Where do you think he gets that impression that you're into biohacking? And then two, would you say that's accurate?
Was it Monty or Rig?
I think it was Monty.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
They both kind of give it to me about it.
Okay.
But
it could have been Rig, but I don't think he would sell you out to me like that. But Monty would.
Of course he would.
There's certain things that like you do. I feel like just because like the NHL, like everyone's like the same until like you can just try to find like a little bit of an edge to make you feel a bit better. But I mean, it only goes to a certain extent. Like you can't overdo it, or you're just gonna overwhelm yourself. So like there's like little things you do, like red lighting, and I find like grounding,
like going outside.
Yeah,
like,
just getting your feet in grass and stuff like that. Yeah. But other than that, nothing too crazy.
What do you mean red lighting? Like red light therapy?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of know about that, but what's like the benefit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like huge. Like I don't really know too much about it. I just know that it's good, and it kind of. I mean, it helps me a lot. I've been doing it a lot when I was injured. Yeah. And, like, we have one downstairs that we use. And I feel like it works. It could just be a mental thing, but I feel like it works.
I've always heard that it's good for, like, your skin and, like, your circadian rhythm, but there's probably other things, too. Yeah.
Never done the grounding thing before, but I have been told to touch grass plenty of times.
Yeah, you could benefit from touching grass more often.
Video games, that's a common one that gets thrown out there. So,
which I was actually going to ask you, Ryker, do you consider yourself much of a gamer? Do you play video games much?
I used to, like in junior and like growing up, like I was big into it. But I mean, as I got older, like I can't do it as much because I kind of get addicted to it. So it's like that's all I'd be thinking about. So I kind of have to stop.
I'm the same way, especially on the road. Once JT knows, I'm like, I can't start a new Pikmin game or a new Stardew Valley farm because then I will not be doing my prep that I need to do. Yeah. I can't handle it.
What was the game of choice during your junior time since you don't play much now?
Yeah, so I was always a big Call of Duty guy. So like my favorite game ever is Black Ops 2.
Okay, that's a good one.
So that was my big one, and then Grand Theft Auto. But then in COVID, it was 2K.
Okay.
So we play a lot of 2K. And then here and there, I'll play Warzone.
If you want to get started again, I'm just letting you know the new Call of Duty actually came out today.
Yeah, some of the guys were talking about
it. It was a Black Ops 7. I played one game this morning, but and the new Grand Theft Auto is supposed to be coming out later this year. It's been delayed, I don't know how many times, but yeah, that one's probably going to be high on my list of things I need to play.
Yeah.
JT brings a gaming computer with him on the road.
Only long trips though, like not for the back-to-back, St. Louis, Dallas, like I'm not going to take all my stuff for that. But if it's a long one, like the next one we're going on, yeah, it's coming with me.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you're Canadian, so you've already celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving, but when this episode comes out, it'll be right around American Thanksgiving. I wondered what your relationship was with like American Thanksgiving. Like, do you guys as Canadians like even really acknowledge it? Do you ever celebrate it? Do you like that kind of meal? Like
growing up?
Well, yeah, or even just like now that you live in America, you know?
Well, like now it just feels like another day. Obviously in Canada we celebrate it, we have family over. And then here it's mostly just like with a team. I feel like it's not like, for Canadians, it's not as big.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. I also wondered, of like a traditional Thanksgiving meal, which things are your favorites and which are you not even putting on your plate?
There's sweet potato casserole.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite one. Or
I like that
or
pick.
Stuffing.
Stuffing.
Those are my two go-to.
I wondered if you could do stuffing because of the celiac.
Yeah, you can have like gluten-free stuffing.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Those are probably my go-to.
How do you feel about turkey?
I'm not a huge fan.
Me either.
Yeah, it's all right.
I thought you had thoughts about this.
I do. I think more from a standpoint of like, my wife's Canadian, so I obviously know about that. And so then I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually, sometimes it's better to celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving because like the big meal, I feel like American Thanksgiving is too close to Christmas. And like the amount of work that goes into, which I'm not the one cooking, but at the end of the day, the amount of work
which is for the best.
All the work that goes into it's such a long process. Then you have to like turn around and do it again around the Christmas time. So like, I just feel like the spacing of Canadian Thanksgiving is way better. Mm-hmm. But as far as turkey, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. My least favorite thing is the cranberry stuff, whatever that little.
Like the jelly from a can.
Take that, throw it away. Don't put it anywhere near.
I'm surprised that it wouldn't be anything green that would offend you more.
No, I green bean casserole, like I'm just not going to eat it, but I'm not mad at it.
Do you like green things, Ryker?
Oh, like veggies and stuff? Like I tolerate them.
Tolerate. That's a good one. I don't
But
tolerate
you don't tolerate them.
Broccoli. I will have broccoli.
Only the tops, right?
Only the tops, so not the stuff. I will only eat the tops. I'm like a 12-year-old. I need you to biohack just one day of what I eat and tell me.
No.
It would not be good.
Look at his pile of candy over there.
I got a backpack full of candy right now too. It's a daily thing.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more for you. I don't know if you have.
What is it about? What?
Well, I'll just ask my question.
Well,
then.
then ask your question.
I wondered if you consider yourself to be much of a bucket list person. Like,
No.
do you have like a list of things that you're like, I want to do these things before I die?
No, not really.
You're just living it day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it just comes up, then and I think about it, then like maybe I want to do that, but I don't have a list right now.
Do you have like a concert or a sporting event that you attended as a fan that is like your favorite thing that you've ever done?
Not in particular, no.
Yeah?
No.
Dang, you just like to play sports? You don't like to go watch them?
No. I mean, going to like the Super Bowl would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I feel like even like going to college games, like we went to a University of Washington game, it's like everyone stands up.
Yeah.
So it's like my legs are hurting the whole time. For 3.5 hours. Like I just watch this on TV, you know?
That was a pretty big game though. Speaking of college, this just popped in mind. Did you ever think about going to college instead of taking the junior route?
I did, yeah. My dad went to University of Amherst. So like, he kind of knew like obviously about it. So we kind of weighed both options. And then he just kind of described what it was like for him going there. And I was like, I don't think I can do that. So
I mean, you're here. You made the right decision. Just a lot of when it comes to the Canadian hockey players, it's usually not on the forefront of their mind to go to the United States, come play college hockey. But no, I mean, I enjoyed my time at the Harvard of the Midwest.
Nobody calls it that. Every time you say that on the broadcast, I'm like, literally, you and John, no one calls University of Minnesota Duluth the Harvard of the Midwest. As somebody from Minnesota, I can tell you, nobody calls it that.
Well, you didn't go to University of Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah,
if you
you're
did,
right.
You might call it.
I went to St. Cloud State.
On to a different
better
path.
dog school.
Another super random question. I want to know, who do you think on the team would be best equipped to survive a zombie apocalypse?
Probably like Groovy.
Oh yeah.
He's got horses.
Okay.
True.
Like you can just ride, like obviously you're gonna run out of gas sometime.
I bet he definitely can build a
He's got
fire.
horses. You probably got a generator. He seems like an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
All right. Who would be the worst? Like, who would you not want to be in the zombie apocalypse with?
Right now, probably Wentz, Maddie.
The list
Cats.
keeps going. The list keeps going.
Wins,
Quick
Maddie.
for that. That's good.
Yeah, it's good ammunition. Maddie, I'm surprised by that. You don't think he can fend for himself too well out
He
there?
needs Wi-Fi to play his games.
Yeah, no, that'd be a tough one. I think for me, just thinking about it, like I think I'd be good. I like watching a bunch of like zombie apocalypse shows and like bunkers and shelters, and I don't know, just because I watch the shows and survival shows doesn't mean I'd be able to do it, but I feel like I got a step ahead. And then the person in our broadcast that I'd say no, it would be Everett. I do not. I do not want to be in a zombie apocalypse with Everett.
No, Allison would be good. I would probably pick her.
Okay.
I think she's very resourceful. I feel like I'm pretty resourceful. I'd probably be okay, but I get sick and break my ankles every 5 days, so I don't know. Survival of the fittest, I probably wouldn't go very far, but I feel like I got some skills at least.
I feel like I could go on Survivor and win.
You are so confident. You also said 2 weeks ago he said he could just step into a pilot seat and land a plane if he needed to.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that show on Hulu they have? Where celebrities go on and do Navy SEAL training.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple
I
episodes.
just
of that.
watched it. I think it's pretty. I would like to do that.
I think there was one. I was watching one. I think Cam Newton was on it.
That's on your bucket list, Ryker.
I know. I think the show will be done by the time I'm done playing.
Yeah.
But that would be something I want to do. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I'm always looking for TV shows or anything that you've binged lately, because we do have a long road trip coming up. So anything you would suggest?
For shows?
Yeah.
We just watched, honestly, it was a good show, but I can't remember the name. We watched that Hulu one. I think we're rewatching Stranger Things right now because the new season's coming out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We're doing that too.
I might have to do that as well.
Yeah.
If you are trying to rewatch the whole thing starting now, you're not going to have enough time. But
Hey, I'm confident.
You're going to watch it on 2 times speed. We know.
I watched the entire Star Wars series in 2 days.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2.5. So if I get the time, I'll put it in.
All right, you do that. What was the show that you said that you couldn't remember the name, but do you remember what it was about? Did you guys?
It was on Prime. It was the Dark Wolf.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly.
I saw that on my homepage.
You know that one?
Right.
I haven't seen it, but I just saw it on my homepage.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. I'm gonna find it.
It's really good actually.
All right. JT, any final thoughts?
No, I already got rid of all my completely random questions.
Yeah, that's kind of what we like to do here, though. We're just we talk about hockey all the time, 10,000 intermission interviews throughout the season. So it's fun to get the chance to just kind of, riff a little bit as, people. So thank you so much for coming in to do this, Ryker.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's great to have you. All right, well, thank you again to Ryker for coming in on a practice day to do that. That was fun. It was good to get Garth in the mix.
He had some good answers and some intel for us as well. So it was it's always good when we get a player on.
I always think it's funny, you can tell they don't really know what to expect and how casual this is going to be until we're halfway through it.
Well, majority of the other times, if you're going up to ask them a question, it's a hockey question. We do throw some hockey in there, but I also think it's good to see what they're like outside of the game.
Yeah, and I want to apologize for chirping you 20,000 times during that interview. I'm not really sorry, but I feel like I should acknowledge that.
It's okay. You know what? I'm just confident. I'm going to stay confident. Yes, I could land the plane. I still think I could win Survivor. And, you know what? Just let me be me, and I'm okay with you chirping me for it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about Ryker really quickly, though, and just kind of what you've seen from him and his game these last couple games that he's been back from injury. I thought he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's looked good out there and pretty much looks like he hasn't missed a beat. And, that goes to, his training and, just the work ethic to get back and all of the things he's had to do to get himself ready. And obviously a really good start in the first game, be able to get a goal and assist in that game versus St. Louis, first game back. And, you'd always look at a player coming back from injury and you're looking at, are they hesitant? Are they, again, you want to make sure you're fully ready before you come back, but there still can be some hesitancy to go into the corners and, to battle, have the same battle level. But you saw none of that with his game, and he stepped right in and has looked fine. I mean, you look at the skating aspect, you knew that was going to stay top notch. He is an excellent skater, but he hasn't shied away from a single hit. He hasn't gone away from a battle in front of the net. He's played the way he wants to play, talking about the aggressiveness, the attacking mindset, jumping up into the play, which is what you need out of him, right? He does have a little bit of a bite to him, I think, when he plays, especially on the defensive side of the game. And then the offensive side, you can see picking the right times to jump up into the play. Where can he insert a little bit more of that offensive side? I think that's I'd say the only thing when we're looking at Ryker's game where you'd want to see more of, because we know he has the skill, is when jumping up into the play. When can he be, that third layer of attack, jumping up and being a little bit more I don't want to say chaotic, but also at the same time, just giving the defense a different look. Because I think this team does need their defense to score goals. They need players like him. They need Montour. They need Dunn to jump up and activate into the rushes. Alexiak does it. Alexiak does it as well. And when they do that, and when they're scoring from their defensive side as well as the offense, like that's how this team is going to be successful. So he's a big piece. Glad to have him back. I know the team is as well. It's been fun to watch him, and just excited to see how the rest of the season goes for him.
Yeah, and Lane Lambert said that he thought that Ryker was outstanding in that first game back, that's very positive.
And missing any time, like even missing a week can throw your entire whether equilibrium off, like it just doesn't feel like you're in a game anymore. So to miss that much time and to come back and jump right into a game, and a hard set of games too, by the way, to go into St. Louis, a back-to-back with Dallas as well, jumping into that type of a format as well was not easy to do, and he made it look effortless.
Because he was hungry, which is what he told me. He was like, it sucked to just sit there and just watch them play all these games. But he was like, but I was specifically paying attention to exactly what I could do when I got back to make a difference, and then he did that right away, which is very commendable, I think.
Oh, again, it's a mindset, right? And you can tell that he did everything in his power to make sure that when he did get back, or when he was ready, that he could step in, and it looks like he didn't miss any time at all. Yeah.
So with that in mind as well, the Kraken are still off to their best start in franchise history. Fewest games played to 20 points. That is obviously due to a great deal of overtime and a lot of really tight battles, very much a defensive brand of hockey that we're seeing from this group. But JT, that is how this team is going to have to play to win.
Yeah, I believe there's 10 games so far that are 1-goal games throughout the season, and that is the brand of hockey that they need to try to play. And it goes back to kind of what I said earlier with needing your defense to score, but you need all 4 lines to score. You need to be chipping in by committee, and that's where they're going to find the most success. And you'd love to win every game 5-1 and make it, I don't want to say easy, but at the end of the day, it's just probably not going to happen that way. Even for the best teams with the most elite offenses aren't going to have, the 5-1s every single game. So where do you lean on? What are the Kraken going to lean on? And it is that defensive game, and it's limiting the other team's opportunities and making sure your goaltenders have opportunities to make the saves. And they've been good. I know we'll get into that after this or a little bit later, but I think from the defensive side, that's where it starts. When you play good, you hound the puck defensively, that also leads into the offensive game. I think some of the games where they go through a little stretch where you can't score, well, they're playing a little bit more defense than they'd want to, or they're not getting pucks in behind the defense and able to wear them down and go shift by shift to be able to kind of establish that momentum in the offensive zone. And again, it goes down to as well bearing the opportunities, because I think in the games where they were low scoring, you're only getting 1 goal, you're getting 2 goals, in a game. They had opportunities to score. It's not like they were just completely outplayed. They're going to work. They're going to work hard. That's a staple of how the Kraken need to play. They need to play strong defensively, but then on the offensive side as well, is when you get those opportunities, who's going to be the one to bury it? Because you're not going to have a 50-goal scorer. Maybe you will, but more than likely, you're not going to have, the Connor McDavids,
just a game breaker who doesn't need anything.
That goes around. So it's going to be as a team which lines can push the next line to be better and keep pushing the next line throughout a game. And, that's where, I think the 4th line has done an excellent job all year, really, is pushing that pace. And
playing their role.
Correct.
Executing the role exactly as asked. Yeah.
And you're not going to score every single time, but you are seeing them chip in. And that's what you're asking for, not only just your 4th line, you're asking for the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and all 3 pairings to chip in when it comes to that offensive game. So I think it's less concerned, I guess, about the offensive side, because they're getting opportunities, they're getting their chances, they're going to go in. But, defensively, they have looked as strong of a defensive team, maybe as we've seen, the Kraken look, in this early existence. But, I really like their defensive game. And if they can continue to play that strong defensively, regardless of what happens on the offensive side, you're going to have an opportunity to win the game. And I think that's the main goal. You're not always going to have your best stuff every single game. How are you going to manage to get those games to overtime, right? Even if you don't have your best stuff, and that's by playing sound defense and then your goaltending as well.
Yeah, let's talk about goaltending here. Obviously, in case you missed it, Joey Decord was placed on IR, which meant that he would not be available for at least a week. So the Kraken carry 3 goaltenders. So Matt Murray and Philip Grubauer have both seen much more game action, and they have really given this team a chance to win in front of them every night that they've played.
Yeah, I think you look at the opportunities and obviously just the teams you're playing, you're going on the road, you're coming back home. The ability for them to give the Kraken an opportunity to win in every game has been outstanding. They've made countless big saves. Both of them have looked really good.
Murray and Dallas had some sequences that were
in their starts. We haven't seen that, right? We haven't seen. I mean, when Matt Murray played in Dallas and then played again versus Columbus, that's the first time this year somebody other than Joey had started 2 games in a row. So for the Kraken to be able to see that, be able to get Grubauer in after the Columbus game versus Winnipeg as well, and they performed well. And I think that's a good sign for the Kraken. Another good sign, obviously, Joey Decord has gotten back onto the ice. He is skating still on the IR, at the time of recording this. So who knows how long it is, but they've shown when you look at Grubauer, you look at Murray, both of them in the games that they've played in Joey's absence, that they can hold the fort. They can give this team an opportunity to win, even though Joey's not in the net. And we just hadn't been able to see that really yet this year. The other opportunities where they did play, it was, 20 days break. He hasn't started a game for 20 games. Now you're jumping in. That's a very hard situation to put these goaltenders into. Obviously, they're putting in the work, trying to make sure they're ready, but there's no doubt about it. It is hard to start and play a game when you haven't seen the reps, at game action, for that long
just
of a
like we
period
were
of time.
talking about with Ryker, but
Correct.
you are the goaltender,
Again, and everyone, you're quick to harp on the goaltenders, right? Like that's, if you don't make the save, obviously, I don't want to say they're at blame, right? But at the end of the day, it's like a starting pitcher, right? You give up the home run. Well, there's so many other aspects within the games, but they're really are in the spotlight when you look at the goaltenders for the games. And, I've been, I don't want to say impressed, but at the same time, it's expected, right? They have the experience. They have, that NHL pedigree. Both have won Stanley Cups, and to be able to show that where we just haven't been able to see based on schedule, based on how Joey was playing as well, it just didn't work where those guys were getting the looks, they were getting the reps, in live game action. So to be able to see them and to see them perform, I think that's great for the Kraken. I think it's good for the long term of this team, especially with the schedule condensed that we do. We've talked about it ad nauseum throughout the year, but we're going to continue because it is different than any other year. Just the way
Ryker said it like 10 times. He's like, the schedule.
The way the schedule is presented this year is different than any other year. And, having all 3 goalies to be able to really go out and give your team an opportunity to win is something that is going to be good for the Kraken, especially in this type of year.
So I want to go back to something that we were talking about before, which was the 4th line and the impact that they've been able to have. And, not only in executing their role and contributing offensively, but also what they have been able to do for the momentum for this group and just like really driving things. And Ben Myers has been truly stellar. Freddie Gaudreau, at the time we are recording this, is still on IR, but how does potentially getting him back, maybe before this episode comes out, we will see, but definitely soon-ish he should be back. How does that kind of impact this team?
Well, first, just about the 4th line that's playing right now, they've been great. I think you look at being responsible with the puck, limited minutes that they're going to play, how big of an impact can you make? And for me, they're consistently making an impact, not only defensively, which is what you expect out of, a 4th line with more of a defensive mindset, a defensive posture.
They're getting to their forecheck,
but
though.
Offensively, they have been on another level, and it is the forecheck, right? It is just being strong on that F1, creating turnovers. I would be willing to bet that every team that they've played, the defensemen know when they're on the ice, right? They're going into that forecheck. They're going in hard. They're not shying away from any contact. They're creating those turnovers, but then also someone's going directly to the front of net. They're making it a mission to make sure at least one of them is in that area. And they're making plays when the plays are there. But I also like, again, when you see the opportunity, all right, you look up, there's 2 defensemen, it's a 2-on-2 rush. Maybe we don't make a play. Let's just get it in. Let's go to work, and let's set up the next line. Usually would be the top line and be Matty Benier's line coming out. There's countless times per game where that 4th line has an excellent offensive zone shift, 20, 30 seconds in the offensive zone. They get a change. Well, now Matty's line comes out with tired forwards and defense for the other team. Maybe they got one person to change, but they couldn't get a whole line change. And that just starts to snowball effect when you get those guys out, because nobody likes to be out there past that minute and a half mark. You start to get tired. You're not thinking properly. Those are when mistakes are made, and they've done that countless times where they've just hemmed the line in, playing simple hockey, going low to high, getting a D shot with somebody in front of the net, but they win their battle. So watching them's fun. As somebody who played on the fourth line, I really get excited when I get to see, guys playing that way and that it's still there. The game sometimes goes away from that straight line hockey. A lot of want to go east-west, making moves, trying to go through and get to the high danger areas. But sometimes you just have to go out there and outwork them.
Go north.
Yeah, go north and outwork the other team, and they've been doing it. And again, I like the idea, too, that when the play is there, they're not afraid to make the play either. So offensively, defensively, they have been absolute rock stars. But, kind of talking about Gaudreau coming back, it is an interesting question on how it goes. The one thing I will say with Gaudreau coming back, he can come back and you can still leave that line, right, and how they've been playing. Whether it's moving Gaudreau to a wing spot, maybe he can, because we know Gaudreau can play up, he can play down the line, he can play really anywhere. So the fact of
maybe he gets a shot on that wing next to Maddie, because they've just had like a rotating left wing.
Obviously, you still have to figure out roster and making sure you fit within the right amount of the number of people. So you can only have 23, so you can't go over that. He's got to come off the IR, and what they end up doing, who knows what that mistake is, but. For me, Ben Meyer's the guy who was called up, during that time. So, and he's been fantastic. So you'd like to see him stay. He's be rewarded for the play that he's had. And again, I think getting Gaudreau back, though, definitely will help your penalty kill, can help you out in the face-off circle. He's a excellent.
Which would be huge. The face-off circle would be huge. Chandler Stevenson has been taking
just about every
face-off.
Yes. Take a little bit, especially too on the offside, because Gaudreau's right-handed. With Stevenson going out there, obviously he can still win on the offhand, but you're at a disadvantage, when the other person's on their strong side and you have to go on your offside. So if a right-handed centerman, which Gaudreau is, can go in and take that defensive zone face-off, maybe give you a higher percentage off the rip to try to win that draw. And then a little bit fresher for Stevie, right? Not having to go out and take every single draw. So there's plenty of really good things. And, that's up to the coaching staff, up to the management on how they work Gaudreau back in. Where does he go? But at the end of the day, I think the fourth line has been consistently one of the best lines over the last few games, and it's always fun to watch.
It's a good problem to have, is getting a player that you really can make your team better back in action, and
he can help
in
you
a
in
spot
so many
where
areas.
other guys are playing good.
Yeah,
so.
He can help you in so many ways. So again, I think getting him back, much like getting Ryker back, much like getting Kakko back in the lineup, they're all excited to get these guys back. It's just how do they fit? We've seen in multiple games in a row where Lane is not afraid to shift up lines and move things around. So getting a guy back maybe just throws a new option into trying to get to, maybe that offensive spark. Because defensively, you look at the team game, it's been really good. They're limiting opportunities, but where can they help in the offensive side? And Gaudreau can do that too. He can be an offensive player as well.
Okay, I got one more quick hockey thing for you that I want to throw your way. Eli Tolvanen on the power play.
Yeah.
He scored twice there now, and I asked him after the Winnipeg game, I'm like, you didn't really get a lot of opportunity there last year at all. What has it meant to you to not only get that chance this year, but also to be actually executing there? And he just, Tolvy's always smiling, but he's like, it means so much to me. He's like, that's where I want to be more than anywhere. But what have you kind of thought about the versatility that we've seen to his game so far this year, and that chance for him?
Well, he's when you say versatile, I mean, he can play that physical game, which he always does. I believe he's second on the team. I think Cartier is first on the team in hits, but those two are usually battling. And then you look at the offensive skill set as well, what he can bring. I think that by him playing physical, it keeps him engaged into the game at all times, and I love to see that. Then when you're playing, I always talk about, like, it's either at the first couple shifts of a game, you either need to go hit somebody or even take a hit. It just wakes you up. It keeps you in. It keeps you focused on what's going on in the game. And, for him to go out, it just feeds into his offensive capabilities. And then getting him on the power play, the way he shoots the puck, he should be sitting in that spot, right? And I think anytime the puck is on a stick, there's a couple, in the last game where maybe it's not in the wheelhouse, it's not right on the tape, where you don't get enough on it. But anytime that puck goes to him, and it is a green light for him to shoot the puck towards the net. And the guys know that, right? I think when you look at the power play and who's on it and where they're positioned, somebody has to be the shooter, right? You can't pass the puck into the back of the net, which we've seen at times where they're trying to pass the puck through. Sometimes it just takes that first shot from Tolvin or from Dunn in the middle of the ice to open up everything else. So when you have a guy like that that has a really good shot, that the defenseman has to anticipate and maybe jump a little bit earlier to make sure they're in Tolvanen's lane, now that might open up that back seam. But it takes one or two. Again, if they want to sit in the lane and block the shot, I've had to do it plenty of times. It's not fun. But the second time you go up, you're like, man, I remember that first one. It hurt. Now you're really like, you got to go in that lane again and again and again. So I think by him having as hard of a shot and as accurate of a shot that he does have, it is something that the penalty killers especially you have to be aware of, and you have to think about it, because it does not feel good. I know we have a lot of pads on, but when you got a 90 mile an hour plus, you know what I'm just speaking from experience.
I know.
When you have all the pads and everything else, it's 90 miles an hour. It hurts. Like it does not feel good. And you have to then mentally be willing to do it again. So you're putting that on the penalty killers every single time they go out on the ice. And it is not fun. They know. So when he's going out there and shooting, it's been awesome. So to see him score, obviously great. He went through, the beginning of the year was tough to find a goal. Obviously, he was still impacting the game, getting assists going through, but it's got to feel good for him to be able to find the back of the net. And hopefully that's all it took, right? Get those first two out of the way, get the first one. Now the second one goes, and now he starts to get on that roll and get back to that 20-plus goal scorer that we saw last year as well.
Filed under things Eddie Olczyk loves to see is Tolvanen shooting on the power play.
Yeah, again, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
you're looking at it like not many people have, you're going up and down the roster, especially when it comes from a one-timer perspective. Like that is his bread and butter.
Yeah.
Probably the best on the team. Maybe you look at Montour throwing in there. He's had some really, I think it was like 96 mile an hour one he scored on earlier this year too. So I'm like thinking of who in the one-timer perspective has that ability. And like he's in the top 2, top 3 for sure when it comes to this team of who can really bring the heat when he's in that position. So again, excellent to see him out there, but also just even better to see him perform, obviously, because we have talked about that Edzo all the time on the broadcast, talking about, getting him out there. He wasn't in that position, and then he gets out there and he's producing, and he's actually showing up in that aspect where we're like, yeah, he should go out there. That's what he needs to do. So it's fun.
It feels very validating for all of us.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see. I mean, we want to see that, right? You want to see players be put in an opportunity, but then succeed, right? Like that's really what being in this league and staying in this league, and how do you become great is excelling when you get that opportunity, right? There's a lot of people that maybe say they never got that opportunity and they complain about it, or there's the people that got an opportunity but then they weren't able to do something with it, and that's why your career was short or whatever the case may be. So I always like seeing guys get an opportunity but then succeed in that option too. So it's good to see him out there.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of the story of Ellie Tolvanen a little bit too, a little bit of like underestimated, feeling like maybe he was a little taken for granted, and then just having this little chip on his shoulder of like, no, I can do whatever it is that you think I can't do or that you think I can do, Yeah,
you see it all the time.
Yeah, so love to see it for him. I know he's super happy about it, so good for Ellie Tolvanen. All right, I want to move into a little bit of holiday spirit, okay? Thanksgiving is around the corner.
Okay.
So when we came in today, I thought that it would be excellent if JT, Drew, our producer over there, Drew, can you say hello?
Hello.
If we talked about a couple of Kraken things that we are thankful for. We are expressing gratitude, okay? Gratitude on this episode. I know that's not your number one favorite disposition to have, JT. And I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm not going to put a number on it. You can have as many as you want or as few as you want. So just pick your authentic favorites of just a couple of things that are related to our organization or our team or our coworkers that fill us with some appreciation.
All right, I'm making Drew go first.
Okay, yeah, I think Drew should go first too.
That's fair. I'm thankful definitely for Kraken Community Iceplex. Just a great place to celebrate the team all year round, even during the off season, and just a great community spot. It's always nice to have that in your hometown. And I'm also thankful for Amazon Prime, so we can stream the games now, which we didn't have before. So that's super nice.
Yeah.
Whether I'm home or just out and about, I can pull the game up, and like I love being able to do that.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Accessible broadcast. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching, Drew.
Oh yeah.
You're thankful for Drew tuning in.
Yeah, hey, I got one. I just got one right there.
And I'm also thankful for Bowie, because every time I see him, he just puts a smile on my face.
I agree.
And he's doing his Bowie Santa photos coming up,
Okay.
and we've been helping plan that out, and it's just an exciting time, and it's just so fun.
That's good. That's a good one. I should have used that one. I should have went first. Is that your list?
It was your idea.
That's my list. You're up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm thankful that the broadcast gets to travel with the team, because that's not always the case around the league. It makes things incredibly easier.
Less stressful.
Yes, of trying to figure, especially
Imagine
back
having
to
to
backs
deal
and
with
going-
commercial flights
and
right
going
now.
through. So that is one big thing. I'm very thankful that we're allowed to travel with the team going through. I'm very thankful that they brought the candy back at CPA on the press bridge. There was a couple days where no candy, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna. No, I'm just kidding. I know I would survive without the candy, but everybody knows I love candy. Actually, and at the Kraken Community Iceplex, I'm thankful for the snack cupboard as well. So that's kind of a 2-for-1.
You have a pile of them in front of you.
Everybody knows I like my candy and snacks, so that is a big one. I'll just say the people that we work with. I guess if I start naming, then we'll end up going wrong, but it goes everybody when it comes to broadcast through here, even the crew, everybody that we work with, Drew here as well, that like makes what we
We're
do
so
so
lucky.
much easier, right? And so I would be very thankful. Top down, I don't want to start individually naming, because I'm going to miss somebody. They're going to listen to it, and they're going to be like, why didn't you name me? Everybody that we work with, I am very thankful for what they do. Let's see. I am very thankful. Why am I saying very thankful instead of just thankful? I said that every time. Very, very, very thankful that we have.
So you want to backpedal.
Yeah, no.
You're just a normal level of
normal
thankful.
level of thankful for the. I'm gonna go a little bit just state of the art facilities, whether it's here at KCI, but also at Climate Pledge Arena. I think from a broadcasting standpoint at CPA, it is a top-notch booth. It's a top-notch location, and then also in between the benches is a lot of fun to be able to do that as well. So thankful for that,
And it's not too cold.
It's a little cold, but at least when I'm up top, I have my heated vest going. So as long as I charge the battery, I'm good with that. So I would say that. And then sticking with the theme of being around here, I'm thankful for 32 Bar and Grill. Every time we go there,
And the wings.
Yeah, especially the kids do their learn to play hockey. And instead of trying to go home and make food, we always stop up at 32 to get dinner after they're done skating. Staff is amazing. Food is amazing. Can't go wrong with anything on the menu. But obviously, get treated very well at 32. So that would be another one that I'm thankful for.
Shout out to Ken. They also often let us record in the captain's room on short notice sometimes, or chaotic notice sometimes, and they're always so accommodating. They'll even come bring us water. Oh, well, it's not always short notice. It's not always short notice, but whenever it is, they always do their best to make sure that we're comfortable and ready to go. So yeah,
it might always be on a chaos type notice, but we get it done.
Yeah, that's hockey, baby, right?
And they just released their fall menu, and there's some great new items on there too. So
better not have taken off them lemon pepper wings though.
No, those are still there.
Right.
Anything
That's
in particular
staple.
that jumped out at you?
Salmon rice bowl is really good, and you can make it with ahi tuna, so it kind of turns into a poke bowl. Very good.
JT's like, ew. Yeah, I had to call JT out because he was on the broadcast. When we were in St. Louis, we have an ad on the broadcast, Chef Molly, and it's like beef. It's
what's for dinner.
It's what's for dinner, right? And JT came on air and he's like, I hope that's what's for dinner on the plane tonight. They didn't have beef. And then we go to Dallas. Then he gets on the air and he's like, yeah, they didn't have beef last night on the plane.
I said we didn't have beef.
Sure. He said, we didn't have beef, but the way he said it implied that it was not available. Oh, it was available. It was just in a rice bowl that had vegetables in it.
We, as in me and John, were hoping for a steak, like a steak.
But what you said was beef.
At the same time, I'm not wrong because we, as in John and I, did not eat beef. We did not have that. So... Yeah. We did not have beef. So I didn't lie.
I just felt like it was a little bit misleading. So,
and it might have been misleading, but it wasn't a lie. All right? You can never call me a liar.
So you want just the steak on the plate, nothing else?
Oh, I mean, you can put some potatoes.
The tops of broccoli.
Okay, just not green.
The tops of broccoli.
Tops of broccoli.
Okay, yeah.
They normally have
garnish.
a little bowl of fruit as well. Eat the fruit.
Yeah.
But not the blueberries. I don't like
blueberries.
blueberries.
All right. Let's keep this moving here. I'll move into my things. Are you wrapped on your things that you're just regular level thankful for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For now, I might something might pop into my head,
Okay.
but those are right away. Those are what I'm thinking of.
Okay. I am going to start with a person, and that is Nicole Shabbatz, who, for all of you who don't know, she is the main brilliant mind behind all of the Kraken's giveaways, all of the bobbleheads, many of so many elements of like the in-game experience. She invented basically the entire Yeet the Fish and the fish that the players yeet and the stories behind them and the production of them and them being the perfect weight so that they can really try to get them to fly because they're designed in a very particular way for the 3 stars to be able to do that. And she is just awesome. She spends her entire summer basically thinking of what we could do for giveaways that fans would actually like and that are unique and like custom design everything. So there's a gravy boat, which I don't know when this episode comes out in comparison to when that giveaway is, but there is a Kraken gravy boat that is inspired by the tentacle that comes up, or used to. Actually, I still think it does sometimes, but the tentacle on the ice and the in-game experience, we lovingly refer to it as Stella, behind the scenes here. But anyway, it's inspired by that, and I just think it's so cool. And she works with the players on their bobbleheads, and she really cares about things being very unique, honoring the Pacific Northwest, specific, and like also useful, not just like random stuff. And there was a little bit of a mix-up on the first jersey night with these luggage tags, or the third jersey night, rather, of the luggage tags. They got stuck in transit in like California, basically, and so we didn't have them. And within 2 days, her and Brand designed a rally towel and had it produced so that at least there was something that was third jersey related for fans. And, her and that team are working to, make all of that right, because it was just, out of our control, obviously, but just like how much she cares about it, I think that we should all be very thankful to have her on this team.
Great pick.
Before you move to the next one, the Gravy Boat giveaway is going to be on November 26th versus the Dallas Stars, so it'll be after this comes out.
Okay, perfect. So if you are going to that game on the 26th, you are going to get that cool Gravy Boat. And if you're not going, maybe you should go, because there's going to be a Gravy Boat.
Well, I'm going to get me one of those.
Yeah. Definitely.
100%.
Definitely. So, so I wanted to shout out Shabs. The next one that I have is the Getaway Goals, which is the Kraken's partnership with Alaska Airlines. So this is partially a gratitude for Alaska Airlines, partially a gratitude for our wonderful corporate partnerships team to come up with this kind of an activation that is actually super fun and super useful, and also like a fun way to celebrate the team having an awesome scoring game, an awesome offensive game. So they scored 5 goals against the Winnipeg Jets, just like everybody suspected, obviously. It was getting 5 past Connor Hellebuck, of course. But I just think that's an awesome giveaway, or not giveaway, but promotion, I guess. So you get 32% off of select Alaska Airlines flights when they score 5 goals at home. And they did. And so now my husband and I will be going on a trip in February that we were otherwise not planning on going on. So shout out.
Well, I just wanted to say technically 4 past Connor Hellebuck, because one was the empty net, and I'm only doing that because you were chirping me in the beginning of the podcast. But that is a great one, and I'm also thankful for the Kraken for putting 5 goals up, because I'm going to use that as well.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Disney World.
because they were good for Orlando.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is good timing. Figured that out. Walking through the office, I was like, oh, I still got to go to Disney. Like, wait a second, that was the 30, the getaway goals for the last game. So yes, I'm adding that to the list. And Piper, the only reason I said that was because of the earlier chirps. But continue. Your list is fantastic.
You are welcome to chirp me.
Your list is fantastic. It's putting ours to shame right now. Continue.
My next one that I have is actually for our coaching staff, and not necessarily because of results, although results are the most important thing, but they have been so gracious and great to work with. Having mostly a new coaching staff coming in this year, we were lucky, or we were very grateful last year that we were able to start getting assistant coaches at the second intermission, because they just offer a different perspective than the players do, and it gives the players at least one intermission off, and depending on how things are going, sometimes you want that more coach perspective kind of thing. So and they can speak to things in a different way, and so for all of them to come in and having never really had to do that before, in-game interviews, one of them for every single game, that's not like a super easy ask. And so their willingness to do that, and also their insight, their answers and their responses have really added things for our analysts to work with and to get fans answers, particularly when things aren't going well. But I think they also offer that interesting nuggets about that Jess has been able to offer about working with Ty, right? Like when Ty was playing particularly well, and she's like, that's exactly what we've been asking him to do. Like there's just that extra line of communication. And then also with Lane Lambert as well, he has been great to work with, so professional, but also he has that air of accountability, and that is noticed and appreciated. And so they've all just been really great to work with from a media perspective. So I'm grateful because I work with them, and they don't have to be like that. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Any more?
I have one more, but I felt like it was a little mushy, so I was going to skip it, but I think I'm going to go for it. And this is a little bit related to what you said. And I was just going to say, basically our entire broadcast team, because I have hosted 2 games now for us because Ian has moved into John's spot when John has been unavailable to call games on play-by-play. And everybody in different ways was so supportive, but of really everyone. It's not just about me, and it's you had to do the bench interview, but also then you were in the booth with just Ian and no Edzo, and that's a different combination for you and a different responsibility and challenge for you. But that's kind of how it is for all of us as we're playing those musical chairs. And I have just felt like Edzo was so supportive, I felt of everybody moving into those positions, and really was hurrah, hurrah, of all of that happening. But really everybody was. So I didn't want to, just shout out Edzo, because it took everybody and it took our producers a lot to make sure that we felt prepared working in different positions too. So I'm just really proud and really grateful to work with such good people who truly want to win and want all of us to win.
I'll echo that. We work with some fantastic people.
Yeah. So it's not just one, but I've been feeling a lot of gratitude, and of course for Allison.
Can't skip that.
Yeah. So those are mine.
I'm not gonna lie though, her list put ours to shame.
I know.
No,
I got one more.
No, your lists were good.
No. We did the same. I should have known. I
know how grateful you are for Candy.
No.
Very grateful.
The same thing happened when we did the. Sorry, I'm going to Disney. The Disney list on why and why was each player. And I was we're going to go through it. And then Piper had the most perfect explanation for every player, down to where I'm yeah, I'm thankful for the candy because I love candy. And she's no, I have a full paragraph as to why. And I should have thought of that beforehand, that I needed a better response. Not that I didn't have good things I was thankful for. Her list was just better.
I'm very passionate, and I just love people and things.
Well, I have another one that I just thought of, and I think I can speak on all of our behalves, is that we're thankful for everyone who tunes in.
Yes.
For the D.
Oh, Drew, layup.
Yeah, that was good.
Everyone who watches on our YouTube now. Mm-hmm. couldn't do it without the listeners. So
Yeah.
we're thankful for all of you.
Yeah, thank you. And just fans in general, just for tuning in and supporting us, even when we weren't easy to watch as a broadcast. And now that we are. And also, on a more selfish personal note, I work so hard on these player features that we do, and we've just started kind of getting more and more out this season. And to see the response from fans, I have gotten like on unrelated Instagram posts, like comments that are like, that piece on Groovy was so great, or like, you're making me cry for like players I've just met, kind of thing. And that is super nice too. But I've seen so many awesome responses to our podcast too, and getting it on video, which is, I'm so thankful for everybody for just checking it out and giving us a chance. And the organization for giving us a chance to do this too.
True.
So
Very true. We have lots to be thankful for.
We really do. Very thankful. Yeah. What?
Nothing. I'm just smiling.
All right. Well,
I'm just smiling. All right.
I think that is the
Leave me
perfect
alone.
way to wrap up this episode of Signals from the Deep. Just wrapping it up on a very deep note of gratitude, you could say. So, thanks guys for potting with me.
Never mind. I just dumbfounded. I was gonna say, you know what? Yes. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I thought he was going to chirp you again.
I was, and then I just said we were going to go on. We're moving on.
I'm thankful for his chirps too.
And I'm thankful that you are willing to chirp me as well. So, you know what? Until next time.
All right. So long, and thanks for all the fish.